Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. About 5 years ago, I was on my way to a conference in Amsterdam when I accidentally discovered a little bit of a life hack. I was running late going to the airport and I was running out of gas in my car. I had planned to park in a hotel parking lot that had this valet parking as a service as well. And I somehow made it to the hotel without putting gas in my car. And I'm thinking, when I get home, the first thing I got to do is to put gas in the car. And I was kind of worried the whole conference, when I get home, am I going to be able to make it from that hotel to a gas station? And I go pick up my car and I look and I couldn't believe my eyes. There was about an eighth of a tank in the car. And apparently the hotel had put some gas in the car because they needed to move the car around. The way the cars were arranged in the parking lot, they were kind of jammed in and had to be moved around just to get other cars in there. And that was nice. I was in the process of pivoting my career, and at that moment in my life, every penny really did count. And so that was a nice bonus to see. The following year, I was doing much better financially, but I love something for nothing. And as we were getting closer to the date of the conference, the following year I had the conference in Macau. I got really fixated on how to run out of gas before I get to that parking garage. And sure enough, I ran out of gas. I went to my conference and I came back to find some gas in the car. That was really nice. I learned that if you run out of gas, it's called being tankrupt because you got no gas in your tank. I was at the bookstore at Phoenix College and I saw one of the students with her cell phone taking pictures of pages of the textbook so she wouldn't have to buy them. Back when I was in college, cameras weren't nearly detailed, and a lot of people didn't have a camera in their pocket, right? So that was kind of funny to see. I just love getting something for nothing, even if it's only a book or a few gallons of gas or something like that. I was at an Airbnb and I had a secret that I was hiding. What had happened was my landlord was complaining about why his electric bill had jumped so much. First he thought that I had left the door open with the AC on, and then he thought I was mining Bitcoin with my computer. I was making art, obviously, with the electric furnace. I made 2 tons of art in his home and ran up a huge electric bill, and he had no idea what it was coming from. I had a conversation with a coin dealer one time. I don't know if this is a true story or not, but this is a riddle about who got ripped off. He mentioned that 20 years ago, he had a friend who bought some platinum coins, but had gotten scammed. The coins were actually gold with a coating of platinum. But 20 years later, now gold is worth more than platinum, and he's doing okay with those coins anyway. So the scammer made off with money 20 years ago, and now he's the one who's better off 20 years later. Who lost? Right? Can't really say who lost in that situation. Now, right now in 2024, there's still a lot of discussion about student debt forgiveness. I had a friend who lost big gambling. He had a gambling problem. He ended up 5 or 6 figures in debt over gambling. And he filed bankruptcy and got rid of most of that debt. Unfortunately, you can't do that with student loan debt, right? You need to be disabled or die in order to get rid of your student loan debt. And it got me thinking, what if you could start a university that identifies itself as a casino, so students could come gamble and get an education that way, and then at the end of graduation, they can go file bankruptcy and all this gambling debt, right? You could have the lessons be in the form of a slot machine, right? I don't know. But it sounds plausible, right? As long as you have the right phraseology and get the legalities in there, right? In some way, right? So, as you guys know, I love making art out of some of my favorite metals are obviously bismuth. I love zinc as well, pewter. And it got me thinking, if you ever got in trouble with somebody, right? You owe some child support or alimony, you owe the IRS. If you hide all your money as zinc or bismuth and you tell your opponent, hey, come to my home and get it, I wonder what would happen, because it's probably not worth, even the IRS is probably not going to waste their time on zinc metal, right? I guess it's the equivalent of paying a ticket in pennies, right? If you're upset about something, right? I'd love to see that unfold, right? If I ever get in trouble with any of these things, I'm going to try that, right? Hey, come to my home and get it. It's all in bismuth, tin, zinc, lead, whatever, right? All right, some financial life hacks that I thought of over the years. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.